You are listening to the Fuerte Network.
Coming to you from a filibustered state of no progress, this is Melina and Dom back with another episode of
We've Got Issues. Day of the Deuce.
The Arizona House passed SB 1485, which will purge over 125,000 voters from the state's permanent early voting list, 30,000 of them being Latinx.
Which is a disproportionately large portion of the Latinx vote.
Despite all the deceptive and heated rhetoric being used by some partisan activists to lobby against this reform, not a single Arizona voter will lose their right to vote.
These folks will no longer automatically receive mail-in ballots during an election cycle.
This bill is simple. It's all about election integrity.
Less than an hour after the bill was passed, Ducey's putting out this professionally produced video. No way he recorded that, produced it, edited it, published it to the internet in 1 hour from the bill being signed.
That thing had to be in the works for weeks now. So he knew this was coming and was more than ready for it.
Yeah, talk about a fair, legislative process. He said he signed it because of election integrity.
It's all about election integrity.
When at the time of the election, he was proudly saying how Arizona's election was the most secure ever, and that we do elections well here in Arizona.
We do elections well here in Arizona. The system is strong, and that's why I have bragged on it so much.
Right? He was praising everyone and everyone that worked on it.
The county election offices, the county recorder's offices, our poll workers, and all the volunteers for their dedication to the success of our election system.
Now he's saying what?
What? That he has to do voter suppression in order to maintain integrity in our elections?
Right.
This is America, and no voter should be disenfranchised.
So which one is it?
Which one is it, Doug?
SCR 1044 is a bill that will be on the 2022 ballot that will grant in-state tuition to undocumented students that attend high school in Arizona for 2 years. Currently, students are blocked by a 2006 bill called Prop 300, resulting in undocumented students paying $18,000 more every year than in-state students, which is absolutely ridiculous. And with the 9th anniversary of DACA coming up, it's important to focus on pressuring our state senators and President Joe Biden on passing comprehensive immigration reform for all 11 million undocumented people. I know for a fact that I'm personally tired of immigration being a major talking point for Democrats when running a campaign and not being a priority once they are actually elected. The team at Fuerte is looking to uplift voices of the immigrant community, irrespective of status. And if you want to share your immigrant story and how that has affected you, please reach out to info@fuerte.org or FuerteAZ on social media. Last month, many of Fuerte's partner organizations came together in downtown Phoenix in order to call on Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Mark Kelly to end the filibuster, a tactic that has been used to prevent major bills from passing through. Important ones like the Dream and Promise Act that would provide myself and millions of other undocumented families a pathway to citizenship, or even the Voting Rights Act that would actually protect the integrity of our democracy.
Yeah, and then the latest thing is after recruiting Republicans and saying she was going to vote for the January 6th insurrection investigation, she was nowhere to be found when the vote happened.
Right, and apparently it was due to personal family matters.
Yeah, last time she used that same excuse, and then we see pictures of her on the internet in a marathon race in another country.
And she says that the filibuster is a tactic that has historically been used to bring both parties together, to have conversation and communicate. But I don't really see that.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. I know that the filibuster was used historically to block civil rights legislation and to enforce Jim Crow legislation. So I definitely think the history is on the wrong side of this for Kyrsten Sinema. Hey, Melina, I hear that Fuerte has some cool events coming up in June. What are they?
Yeah, we absolutely do. So Fuerte is excited to host our next 72-hour video challenge. June 25th through the 28th. If you haven't checked out the videos from the first challenge, I would highly recommend
They're
doing
super
so.
dope.
They were amazing, and if you want to be a part of that creation and the excitement, then
If you are an artist, any kind of creative, because every kind of creativity goes into making a video, and you're curious about being part of the progressive movement, come and be part of our challenge. If you're in the progressive movement already and you've never gotten to use your creativity in the movement, come and take part in this. It's going to open up a whole new side of progressive organizing for you.
right. And if you have a team, you don't have a team, don't worry, we'll
Right.
find a place for you. Come and be a part of the challenge.
Every progressive and artists are welcome here at Fuerte.
We also have recently premiered a policing video where we interviewed a lot of our members of a community on how they feel about policing, how their perspective has shifted over time, and that is available on YouTube, right?
Yeah, what was your first? When do you first remember hearing about the police when you were a kid?
I was actually a part of the video, and in the video I mentioned saying that it was just something that was taught to me in school. It was something that my parents taught me. So I didn't question it then. What about you?
So the first distinct memory I have is going summer with my grandfather and my dad, and my grandfather was talking to me in Spanish, and I didn't understand all of it. So my dad translated it. Basically, he said, if a cop gets behind you, pull over at the next street, because you don't know if the cop had a bad day, if he fought with his wife. You don't want to, have him pulling you over with, that bad energy on him, as if it's the fault of the people that police might be in a bad mood. And then, I've had a lot of good interactions with police over the years, but once or twice, one time I got pulled over and the cop sort of took his gun out and held it at his side. And I'm like, what the hell is this all about?
For a traffic stop?
During a traffic stop,
Right.
And
That's scary.
It's scary, and it's just for no reason. And it's,
Exactly.
there's
And
no reason to introduce that kind of intimidation for, going 40 in a 35.
Exactly. And we hear all about those stories from folks in our video, so check it out. This has been episode 3 of We've Got Issues, a Fuerte Network production. Today's episode was hosted by Melina Fonseca and Dominique Medina, produced and edited by Danny Orona, graphics by Sania Orona and Danny Orona. Theme music by Dominique Medina, video of Doug Ducey praising Arizona election source from Arizona Central and the Arizona Governor's official Twitter account. Thank you to everyone that was part of the Filibuster rally and every organizer and organization that worked to put it together. Thank you to organizations like Scholarships A to Z, ADAC, Aliento, and more that worked together to get Prop 300 repealed. Thoughts and opinions expressed by We've Got Issues do not necessarily represent those of the Fuerte Arts Movement.